Hi, everybody. Vitaly Gimin here, once again with you. Today, I'm talking to Denisa Steiper, and she's actually. Why don't you introduce yourself, Denisa? You'll save me the time. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Denisa. I live in Kassel, that's a city in something like the center of Germany. I work in the field of renewable energies and energy management as a manager for digital processes.
Wow. Okay. So it's from what you were telling me, it's a big solar. They make solar converters, right, for power plants, inverters.
Yes, that's solar inverters is one important area where it refers to developing them and also manufacturing, but we also develop whole energy systems for
Beautiful.
energy management with focus on renewable energy.
Beautiful. Now we're going to do a U-turn, as they call it in media, and guess what? I mean, we're not going to talk about solar energy today. We're going at all. But I just wanted to introduce Denise because that's how we met. We met through LinkedIn, and then the interesting thing is what we start talking about is about something much deeper than well. Don't want to. We started talking about in organizations, what about topics like love, and what about topics like power and money? How do those three things intersect? Because we really talk about it, right, Denise? We really talk about it. And you actually put me onto a very interesting TED talk. Maybe briefly talk about that. The guy who wrote the book about power and love.
Yeah. So the two concepts, power and love, were linked probably also before. But in one book from Adam Kahane, they were linked regarding changing on a society level. It was about dialogue between actors that have very different perspectives and the way to join their views for solving a problem. And this really touched me, and I found it fascinating. And I also thought, well, that's something that really applies to organizations. It seems to me that the first thing we think of when it comes to organizations is something like let's say a company where people work, accomplish tasks, and then they reach a goal. But I think that this perspective is too narrow. There's much more to it than that. And when it comes to power, power means being able to accomplish something. And interesting is that power has a general meaning, I mean the word, and also a physical meaning, power when it comes to electricity, energy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing, being able to accomplish something. And the other thing is love. Well, it sounds like what's the connection to them? Love would be basically this possibility to connect in a very appreciating, cherishing way. And Kahane's perspective was that the two need each other. Otherwise, power gets repressing and love can't reach anything. Yeah, so this is in a way the general meaning of the terms, and the way I thought that we should also introduce them in the organizational context.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Actually, let me read this quote. Well, actually, Martin Luther King: power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Anemic, what a word. How's that? Power without love is reckless and abusive, which is what a lot of executives, unfortunately, still today, pursue. And then love can be very sentimental and anemic without power, because we could be all lovey-dovey, but if we don't have that drive and the evolutionary drive, then we're also out of balance, right?
Yeah. If you ask what has power to do with organization, you can find a sort of answer, especially when it comes to, let's say, managers, where people that can decide a lot. Okay, we can link it to it. But love, maybe at the beginning it sounds more difficult. And in my work experience, I remember of a colleague and manager who I think he really lived this concept of love. He told me, with whomever I work with, I want to see them as a person, as a human being, as Mensch, we say it in Germany. Not, and I don't want to think of their role or their task. And I really felt that when working with him. It was really a very appreciating relationship. And I noticed that others felt as easy to work with him, and he could not push, but make things move and evolve. Yeah, and it was a very nice experience, and I thought, well, I should learn something from him.
Wow. Yeah. It's kind of like the art of appreciation, or there is also a whole field called appreciating inquiries, like really learning how to appreciate, your colleagues, your customers, your vendors, rather than the opposite, being critical, continuously critical.
Yeah. And sometimes there's this idea we have to push, we have to make pressure, put somebody under pressure because we have a deadline. And well, maybe this works in an exceptional situation. The best experiences I had when I worked with people and we had joy together, when we even laughed and had a little fun, and it just felt nice to do something together. And there, well, it was a pleasant experience just to call that person again or write them an email again, and they'd answer in a friendly way. So that's to me a sort of love or loving way to work with each other.
Yeah, I know, because sometimes we think that when we talk love, it's almost kind of like, well, it's kind of warm and fuzzy. It's weak. It's almost like equating to weak. It's something that you don't mention in organizations, right? Because it's not gonna, it's not a masculine thing, of course, right?
Yeah.
And it won't get you to your goals, achieve your KPIs and your ROIs, but actually, what's happening is the opposite these days. That particularly millennials, they don't want to be driven by fear and salesmanship kind of techniques. They want to be appreciated and loved, and right. I mean, both as workers and as customers, right?
Yeah, well, that's that thing. We all just want to be loved.
Yeah.
So why not in organizations as well? And there's one thing, okay, love as a relationship with each other, and also loving what you do. I assume we all know these people that really are burning for their tasks and for their goals, and they are so touching and impressing. You see this, you feel when somebody really does something with joy because they love what they do. So that's also a point.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, we touched on some deep subjects here. We're going to end here, but I think let's reconvene and talk, and we'll go a little bit deeper into these subjects of love. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.